Hello, Dennis Ramsey folk art fans. How you doing? Dennis Ramsey will gladly do your folk art, fine art, or abstract art paintings at 300 grand a piece, up to $1 or $2 million each. If you want some, give me a phone call. 902-365-5044, Kempful, Canada. Kempful got a snow blizzard today. We got about 50 centimeters of snow, with high winds, and the wind is blowing the snow all around, and it's drifting around. Please share and subscribe today to the Dennis Ramsey YouTube channel. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about the Dartmouth Mental Hospital, where I was a patient for a year and a half. It was a very dangerous place. You had murderers, rapists, pedophiles, all kinds of bad folks there. You had psychopaths, sociopaths, and every form of mental sickness that mankind could have was there. Anyhows, most of the patients were always in the lounge or on the ward in a Johnny shirt and house coat. One day I decided to try to escape out of the Dartmouth Mental Hospital. There's 2 doors before you exit to the grounds in Dartmouth Hospital. So I was waiting for a staff member to come through the 2 doors, and I timed it right. When they went through the first door, I went through that by them, and I went past them on the second door, and I got out to the grounds of the Dartmouth Mental Hospital. Now that's part of the obstacle, and then I had to make my way down to the water. See, the Dartmouth Mental Hospital is surrounded by the harbor, and I made it down to the train tracks. The train tracks are down by the water in the harbor between Dartmouth and Halifax. So I went down the railroad tracks about a mile, and I found some clothing. I found a pair of jeans, a sweater, and some socks. I took them off a clothesline and put those on myself. So I continued down the railroad tracks until I made it to the bridge, McDonald Bridge or McKay Bridge. Then I walked across the bridge without any shoes on my feet. And you're up about 1,000 feet, maybe 1,500 feet. That bridge is very high. So I walked across the bridge, which itself is scary walking across there, especially if you mind heights like I did. So I made it across the bridge, and I just got on the ground at the other side to Halifax. And lo and behold, the paddy wagon was waiting for me with the Halifax police. They put me in the paddy wagon, and took me back to the Dartmouth Mental Hospital. They punished me. They put a needle in my ass, a Demerol, or knocked me out with something, and put me in the quiet room. I was in there for a month, which is isolation. It's a mattress on the floor, no handles on the door. Anyhow, I was in there for a month, then they let me back on my ward. And I was so happy to be back on the ward, drinking coffee, playing pool, and playing cards. But anyhow, I spent a year and a half in the Dartmouth Mental Hospital. It was a very rough place, very dangerous place. You had murderers in there, people with no conscience, and were ruthless. You had to fight every day to survive and get through it, which I did after a year and a half. Anyhow, they had everybody on medications. Some took chlorpromazine, others took Halitol or Librium or Valium, but everybody was on different medications. Anyhow, we were allowed our cigarettes and coffee and canteen of soda pop, chips and bars and so on. Anyhow, getting back to it, I spent several years in different institutions in the 70s and early 80s, so I'm going to talk about it from time to time and post these videos on my YouTube channel. Please share and subscribe today to the Dennis Ramsey YouTube channel. Thank you. And request your folk art, fine art, or abstract art paintings. 300 grand a piece, up to $1 million each. Give me a jingle, 902 365-5044, Kempful, Canada. Anyhows, I've escaped out of 3 different institutions: Reform School, the Dartmouth Mental Hospital, and a residential center. And all of them had high security. They had 2 doors you had to exit to get out to the grounds, or get out to the free land, if you will. But I escaped out of 3 institutions, and if you include the Waterville Mental Hospital, I escaped out there once, and I'll talk about that another day. Please share and subscribe to the Dennis Ramsey YouTube channel. Thank you.